Hello, this is Patrick with New Jersey's Outdoor Adventures YouTube channel. Very happy to have Mike with JM Custom Coach Builders back on the channel. Today he's going to introduce us to Julie and he's going to show us his newest van build. So join us.
Hey, it's great to be back on the channel. My name is Mike. I'm the owner and operator of JM Custom Coach Builders. Julie here brought her van to me and she had a company come and do her van. She didn't like it. She used it a few times and the space just didn't flow for her. So she came to me and we did a whole bunch of custom work for her. Changed a lot of things, rearranged a few things, and made it for her. So I will give it to Julie and she will show you what we did.
Hi, I'm Julie. Mike's right, and he's also lovely. I was trying to find somebody who would build a van for me and do what I want it to be done. Couldn't find anybody, but Mike did. And Mike not only did what I wanted, but did what I wanted and made me feel like it was the right thing to do. So I had this done because, well, I was married for basically 20 years and my husband left me. And instead of being upset about it, I was gonna live my life. I had agoraphobia for basically the 20 years, which means I did not leave the house without having panic attacks. So for 38 years, I didn't leave the tri-state area. Got divorced and I became a new woman. I wanted to travel the country. I found a company that would make a van small enough that I could drive it places, but large enough that I could stay in it. And like Mike said, after using it, it just did not work the way I wanted it to work. So he made it Julie style, which as you can see is a little eccentric, but always fun. So let me show you around. Okay, well, this is just for me and I am 4'11", so I need things to be tiny sized. So the other company, we have these swivel seats, both of them swivel, but again, it's just for me. And when I would sit in this seat here, my feet would dangle. So, storage and footrest all in one. Also trying to get around to reach up here. I have heels on right now and you can see I still can't reach it. So we put in a little step just so I could get up here. Up here are some essential things, but basically there's a curtain that pulls down for privacy because I had covers for each window and they were magnetic and it was a whole thing to do it. So this makes it simple. Pull this down, private. Outside there's a awning that comes out to give, because outdoor space. But this rolls down. It's a net for mosquitoes and things like that. But once it's shut, I don't have to zip it up and roll it up and zip it up. It's magnetic here, so I can come in and out without hassle. So here is the footrest, but again, it's a storage compartment. It's a bunch of plastic in there, but don't worry, I recycle. If you look down, I put little carpets in here, really easy to take out. I can shake them out because when you walk in here, when you're enjoying the outdoor space, I was tracking things all through. So this was really nice to keep that out of the way. If we go in here, kitchen area first, I have a microwave, which everybody needs a microwave. And also I have a stovetop here and Keurig machine. Who doesn't need a Keurig machine? Refrigerator. I don't know what else you could possibly need besides a microwave, cooktop, coffee machine, and a refrigerator. Plenty of countertop space to prepare things. I have all the different cups, plates up here, plate dispenser. Paper towels, easily accessible, and oh look, it's hidden. We have to do things like that when there's not a lot of space. The other thing is trash. When I took this out before, I was just throwing trash onto the passenger seat because I didn't know what to do with it. So trash can opens this way, and then if you're doing a lot of things, working on the, making food, you can go like this, so it's accessible for you. This is the water pump, heater. There's USB chargers here. This is the tankless water heater, which is in there and takes up no space. And then if you look up here, we have storage for basically stuff. I kept this one open because I want to grab a book to read really quick. I don't need to, but the storage keeps going for things that are less usable. And it's a ton of space, I'm looking at this as more of a tiny home than an RV. So I need basically everything I own to fit in here. So what do you need besides a ton of space for your stuff? A toilet. So it's very pretty from here, and this also doubles as a seat. And underneath we have a separate toilet. So the toilet actually separates number 1 from number 2. And when I originally got this, it's a composting toilet. So there's buckets that you take out, and they're really not gross. Like, I assure you, when things separate, it's not gross. They don't smell. It's like, it's cleaning up after your dog is worse than emptying out this tank. But there was a separate container for the urine, and that is kind of gross. But what Mike did is he piped that urine tank into the shower and the sink water, so it becomes gray water. So I don't have to empty that tank. That's beyond helpful. I finally, after all this time, I've gotten all my ducks in a row. Guys. So this is where we're going with this. So to continue on with the bathroom, there's the toilet. This is the sink. This swivels everything out of the way so I could use the sink to soak things. It's extremely deep for all the cups that I use, coffee cups and mugs and things like that. Otherwise, we got a soap dispenser here, so I don't have to worry about that taking up space or rattling around. The mirror here pulls out and has magnified, you know. A lady needs her vanity things. And underneath there's more storage for hair dryers, curling irons, everything a woman could need. But so on top of that, down here, which also, that's my freshwater tank. And real easy. You hook this up to a hose, it's right here. So you fill up the tank, it's 32 gallons, which is a lot of gallons for my beautiful shower. Mike was like, "Are you sure you want the shower to take up so much space?" And I was like, "Mike, hair, I need it." So got a shower, and it's got a nice hand shower in case you just want to wash off certain bits certain times of the month, but otherwise it's a full shower. So has a seat in here. Now this seat, I have a cushion on, so I can use this to sit on when I'm not showering, but otherwise I just take the cushion off and pull this curtain all the way around here, and I have a full shower that's larger than some in people's houses. And just having a shower is not good enough if you can't, you know, admire yourself while you're in the shower. So mirror works from both sides, which is great. The other nice thing is that I have a ventilation system in here to draw the hot air out, easily controllable with remote. And it is directly above my bed, which helps for, you know, sleeping comfortably. But it also draws the exhaust out of the shower, so I don't have to worry about, you know, a steamy room or anything like that. And behind me, I have all these storage holes, both sides, because what girl doesn't need about 30 pairs of shoes wherever she goes? So that's the storage for that. Over here is basically clothes. Have y'all rolled your clothes? I started doing that, and 3 weeks later, no wrinkles. So roll your clothes, put them in tubs, very easy. This stops it from falling out when I'm driving. Laundry, of course. Now, if I fill this bag, I could go to a laundromat with it. But otherwise, I have my own little washing machine. So it's literally got an agitator and everything in it. Just fill it with the water, plug it in, let it run, dump it. But then what do you do with the wet clothes? Well, maybe you've been wondering what this is. This will explain about the wet clothes. So, two options. One is I can just fold this out any way I wish. It's even got an extender. Hang everything here to dry. And also, I can, if it's a nice day, if it's not raining, because who doesn't love clothes dried on a line outside? So, smells like nature. That's what it smells like. And then also, because we love nature and fresh air, I don't even use air conditioning inside my home. I don't like the unnatural smell of it. So this rolls down just like over there and has a screen, so we can get the fresh air circulating all through. I know I have all my shoes, my clothes, the food, the shower, I could wash my hair, toilet, don't have to worry about any of that, but where do I sleep? Well, bed. As you can see, it barely takes up any space as it is right now, but very, very, very simply, it turns into a bed. Just like that. And more than enough room for, I could use it for lounging if I wanted to, but it's basically for sleeping in the beautiful, with my net down out back, my fan running above the head. There's one more thing behind me, and it's my crystal collection. I'm just kidding, but this is everything secured, nothing moves. I actually like to listen to nothing when I'm driving. I like to take in nature and everything around me, so I can't have any rattling or any noises, and that's where like 3M tape comes in fantastically. But what's behind me here is the electrical system. On the roof, there's a 175 watt solar panel. There is 2,000 watt inverter and 200 amp hour battery. I have had the heat on 72 degrees in 12 degree temperature 24 hours a day, and battery didn't drop below 80%. So solar panels are great. Also has a converter for when I'm driving that charges the battery while I drive. So I haven't needed to plug in. I have over, I don't know, 30 something days worth of driving here and over 6,000 miles, and I have not had the battery drop below 80%, and I've never had to plug in and charge, because there is a plug to charge it, but never had to do it. I mentioned the heat before. I have a Webasto electric heater. Here's a control for it, but I also can control it from my phone with an app, so I don't even need to touch that there. Behind here is the propane tanks for the tankless water heater, and there's 2 tanks and a crossover switch, so I don't have to unscrew one. Oh, very simple. I just flick the switch when one tank runs out. And then out here, I don't know how I missed this drawer, but more storage, because you always need more storage. And have you guys seen these? You know, things, again, rattling. I can't stand the rattling. So, plastic camping silverware that is washable, so you don't have to worry about throwing it away, hurting the environment and things like that, but you also don't have to worry about clanking. Always have to have a fire extinguisher and easy access. My best friend is a fire guy. Fireman? You call them firemen. My best friend's a fireman, and he would not let me leave home without it. Otherwise, as you can see here, I don't have to jump in and out of this. Nice step for me to get in. 411, still super easy, don't need to use hands. So remember the gray water tank that I talked about? It's standard for RV. Here I just take off the cap, pull the plunger out, and this can be dumped anywhere. It does not need to be hooked up to a hose because it's gray water. It's just for the shower and things like that.
Julie, thank you very much for taking the time today to give us a tour of your Ram ProMaster. This is a 2500 series, 136-inch wheelbase. So this is a shorty. This is 18 and a half feet.
Yeah, this is the great thing about it, is that it's so comfortable to travel down the highway. I mean, I'm talking 11 hours a day I would sit in that seat, and I was completely fine with that. So very comfortable for moving. I could fit all my stuff, but also St. Augustine, if you haven't been, go. Cobblestone streets, parallel parking, and this thing still fits, and it's not hard to park there. So that's why it's big enough for what I need, but it's also small enough to move around and not feel limited for what I could do.
And just to explain to the viewers, because Mike did mention in the beginning, and you mentioned it, that this was already a conversion van built that you had adapted. What was the layout before Mike did his modifications?
So before, this whole back area here up to beyond this glass panel here, beyond that was all bed. It was a full-size bed, which was great if you have 4 people sleeping in there. But so it was just bed, and then underneath here was storage. That's the storage I had was, it wasn't accessible, it wasn't usable. So got rid of, didn't have a shower, so shower instead of giant bed. Yes, please.
And Mike had talked to me off camera and said that the sink was on the other side. He put that sink in on this side for you?
Yeah, the sink was on the opposite side because it was basically like a kitchen sink, because you don't need a bathroom sink because I didn't have a bathroom. So that kitchen sink we switched, and now it's a bathroom sink that I can use for kitchen things.
This is very interesting because I've always had vans on the channel that people either built themselves or they had someone build for them. This is more of a standard floor plan that the builder offered, but you don't know what you don't know. You get out there and use it and you realize what you like and what you don't like. That's pretty good that Mike was able to modify it and keep a lot of the original parts and then also make it more usable for you. And this is the very first time I've seen this bed platform, and I really, really like it, because even if you decided to leave it down all the time, you could store a lot of things underneath it. And, you know, if you need to take a shower, I guess you got to flip it up out of the way.
Actually, you won't even need to flip it up out of the way because it's a shower curtain, so it'll just lay here and be down. And the other nice thing about the shower is, who wants to stub their toe? You can't, because it's flexible, so that doesn't even get in the way. Everything's dual usage. Everything's more than dual usage because it works. And I'm so thankful to have found Mike and JM Custom Builders because, again, I could not find anybody who would do what I needed. I knew what I needed. I didn't at the beginning, but once I used it, I knew what I needed, and he didn't make me feel like I was being mean. It wasn't like, well, could you please do? No, he did what I wanted him to do, and I'm so thankful for it.
Well, Mike's an awesome guy. We've had him on the channel several times before. He always comes up with some awesome creations. I'll make sure I link in the description to Mike's contact information, and if you have a social media for your travels, we'd love to link to that if you decide to.
I do. Actually, I'm Boomer Julie because I don't know any of this new stuff. This Vanlife thing is even super new for me, but I like making videos. I like sharing. I like sharing joy. You can feel the happiness coming off of me when I'm on these trips, and I like sharing that with everybody.
Well, that's awesome. I'm sure my viewers will like to follow your journeys. Well, this is Patrick with New Jersey's Outdoor Adventures YouTube channel. Thanks for joining us.